All right, y'all. Welcome to another episode of Just Life and Podcast. We are so excited to invite you to our first video episode 19. Ba, 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 ba.
Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back.
Now, I'm out of town and I'm not in my usual space. So, this is what I have for you today. So, don't mind that. I'll fix that when I get home in terms of like recording my usual space. But either way, vibe check. What's going on with you this week?
Yes. So, as many people have been dealing with the snow, we've definitely got a lot of snow in the Maryland area. It's been very annoying. Nobody went to school this week. They didn't clean the roads. They cleaned the roads very slowly, taking just a long time to do everything. We're supposed to get like another round of it. I'm really hoping that it doesn't occur because that's actually really like devastating to hear that. And it's been very, very cold. Honestly, it's just been very, very cold. I had a birthday last week as well. I am now 44.
Ba, 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 ba.
Yes. Just celebrated that as best as we could because, once again, it's cold, the weather, et cetera, et cetera. Went to the Korean spa and let them do what they do. Everybody knows Korean facials, massage, everything. It was all good things. Can't complain. Can't complain overall. And how about you? What you got for today, baby?
Well, I am in Virginia and it is also cold.
Mhm.
We have also had snow. We have also had ice. So we're supposed to get some today and possibly tomorrow. So I may or may not be able to fly out of here tomorrow. Either way, I'm not really pressed. I have my work computer. It's
Mhm.
fine. We'll be good. Like spending time with my sister and my fiance is here with me.
Yes. Congratulations.
Yay.
Congratulations. I hope you guys can hear me clapping. Yes, we have a fiance on the podcast now. We have now upgraded. Yes. Congratulations to the couple.
I cannot believe it. I'm like, I have to get used to wearing a ring because I don't usually wear
Yes.
rings. And it's like when I take a shower or wash my hands or put lotion on, I'm like, okay, I take it off because I want it to stay lovely and nice. But then I have to remember to put it back on. That's the current challenge.
Yes. No, I understand that all too well because I definitely don't wear mine either. So I definitely get it. Yes.
Yeah, something to get adjusted to.
Mhm.
But we're so excited. And it's time to start planning that wedding.
Yes. Yes. Congratulations again. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Definitely will be keeping
All
people
right.
updated on nuptial plannings and everything.
Oh, yeah. Of course. Of course. You guys will be hearing all about that over the course of this next several months of planning.
Yeah.
So keep y'all in the loop. So what we got for the rundown
All
today?
right. So it's a full one today, y'all. So I'm reading from my paper. Bear with me. So we're going to start it off with Alex Preddy. Alex Preddy was the registered nurse in the Minnesota area who was murdered by Customs and Border Control Protection. A couple of things have been revealed, though, since the murder of this gentleman. Basically, he was carrying a legal concealed gun. And also, 11 days prior to his murder, he actually got into it an altercation with these ICE patrol. We don't know if it was the same agents or not. And when he was murdered, he was getting into it with ICE again, but it was because he was trying to help two women who fell down and he was just trying to aid the women to get up. The emotionally unchecked ICE agents pepper sprayed him. And then as they were scuffling on the ground, they noticed that he had a gun. And then at that point, even though they knew that it did not pose a threat, that was my thing. It did not pose a threat. They still went ahead and decided to murder this man in broad daylight on the street like nothing. And then, of course, per usual, the government's like, oh, it's justifiable. It's not a big thing. I just feel like this is just the vibe of the ICE people now. Just the people unapologetically, just the thing.
Yeah, justified in every way to wreak havoc, murder, pillage, do whatever they feel like doing because they know that they're always going to be back and they're never going to be wrong.
Exactly. Very unfortunate. Also, along those same lines, Don Lemon was taken into federal custody in LA, and this happened while he was covering the Grammy Awards. This stems from Lemon conducting interviews during a protest inside of a Minnesota church after it was alleged that a local official with the ICE department serves as a pastor there. Obviously, he has been since released, but it's more so the thing that, he's a journalist and it absolutely impedes on his First Amendment rights. But as we know, the Constitution hasn't been upheld in a lot of ways during this administration or just in general in life as far as like history in America. So that was also very unfortunate.
So they brought him into custody while he was
Mhm.
doing an award
Mhm.
show because he was doing interviews at a protest at a church where an ICE agent is the
Yeah.
pastor.
Yeah. And
What were the
yeah,
charges? Like, he's media.
and he wasn't the only one taken in. Other journalists also were arrested by the same federal agents, so on and so forth. I don't know what they're
Oh,
all
wow.
exactly trying to imply, but it's basically they just don't want them to be covering this event in a certain way from a certain angle and then in turn broadcasting it to the people. That's what it comes off as. So once
Mm.
again, First Amendment, I guess, it doesn't apply to everybody per usual. Nicki Minaj, obviously, she has definitely been on the Trump train, and she actually went ahead and spoke at Trump Accounts Summit. Sounded like a whole idiot, though, for real, for real. She praised him and the MAGA community. Nikki has criticized a lot of the marginalized community that she herself is a part of and has largely been her fan base, which is very mind boggling to me. If you don't know, Nicki Minaj came to this country as an illegal immigrant from Trinidad. It is now alleged that she has obtained a Trump gold card. Now, the Trump gold card is something that they were offering to wealthy foreigners at a cost, though, I should say that. So you had to give them $1 million, but that doesn't also include like other fees that are also associated with that. I don't know if that's the reason that she's been on this whole Trump train, because allegedly a Trump staffer in his camp came out and said, like, no, we didn't give her a gold card. That was just like a memento, the card that she allegedly did get. I don't know, making her look stupid once again. But she did contribute a lot of money to his Summit Accounts campaign. Definitely
Oh,
contributed a lot of
oh,
money. So
oh.
we shall see. I don't know. But Nikki is just looking kind of right now, looking real shaky. And I don't know if it's because she is allegedly on drugs, mental health, so on and so forth. If it is, we're going to keep her in prayer, kind of. But we'll see.
I feel like when Black people start to lose their marbles,
Hmm.
they start supporting Trump. Like Kanye did the same thing. I think I said this before in another episode. Kanye did the same thing when he started to lose his
Agreed.
marbles. Like,
Agreed.
what is that about? I don't know. But that's so
Yeah.
unfortunate.
Yeah.
She needs to get
Yeah, Vontae Davis, he is a boxer. We talked about him last week. He finally did turn himself into the Miami police. This also stems from him allegedly beating his girlfriend. But he's released, though. They did release him on $8,500
Mhm.
bail, so he's good to go. But basically, he just has to stay away from her. That was like the thing.
Wait, wait.
Yeah. Hmm.
8,500
8,500. Yeah.
as in 2 zeros.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know. Hopefully he stay away from the girl. Hopefully he's because I don't know. His attorneys were basically trying to come say that her side was trying to extort him as well. So that was also part of the argument. Not sure. But either way though, the judge was like, just leave the girl alone. Pay your little $8,500. The 8,500 ain't nothing to him. And be on the
Right.
business.
Yeah.
So hopefully he listens. Somebody else who also came out of jail, Karen Huger. I don't know if you guys remember her. She was on Real Housewives of Potomac. She was, well,
Oh,
yes,
the grand
yes, the
dame.
grand dog. There you go. She was actually released. She did 1 year in prison, and this was for driving drunk, basically drinking and driving.
That was a fast year. That was like the fastest
And
year
she looks
ever.
good. Like, she looks good.
Oh,
Yeah, she
good.
looks really, really good because she actually will join
Okay.
the ladies on the upcoming reunion as well. So, yeah.
Okay.
So hopefully, you know what I mean, that she stay on the straight and narrow too. Along with that,
Yeah.
Ray J. Ray J has reported that basically he has months to live. According to his doctors, he said that. He's saying that only
He has 6 months to live?
months. He just said months. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
He's saying that basically by May 2027, though, he should probably be out of here, that he's going to be done. this was
Wait.
this was his words. He said it's a wrap for him come May 2027. That's what he said. I said, I don't know why
Wait a minute.
you're going to wish bad on yourself, but okay. Because he's alleging that only 25% of his heart works, and that stems from his drug and alcohol use that, he's had a strong history with. So,
Okay, I'm
uh
laughing not to be, like, not
of
compassionate,
course, yeah.
but it's Ray
Yeah.
J, and we know how Ray J is and how he
Yes.
trolls and does these things, and I just I can't take it seriously. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
I don't and that was my first thoughts too. I said, "Lord, you know how Ray J is." Like you said, he liked to troll. Who knows? Because he said it so nonchalant. He was
Mhm.
so okay. He said, "Yeah, I'm out of here. May 27th." Like this, like the way he did. I said, "Oh my God." But he did say that his Haitian friends, he's going to Haiti. He said he's going to Haiti to
Uh-huh.
get voodoo done to him because his Haitian friends told him that the cure and the remedy is there. So that's what he said he gonna do. I said, "Why, Lord?"
This is why I can't take him seriously.
Thank you,
This is
because that's the
why.
way he
This
ended it.
because I knew there had to be
Yeah,
that's the way he ended
because I'm like, just
troll.
because that's the way you ended it, I'm like, "Okay, Ray J, if you
No.
are sick, I hope you
Okay,
get
Reggie.
better." But, yeah.
We'll see you in 2028, okay?
Exactly. And then Shawnee Anderson, formerly known as Shawnee O'Neal, for people who don't know, she was married to Shaq. Anyways, she made an announcement that she is ending the franchise Basketball Wives. Basically,
Hmm.
obviously she's a pastor's wife now. So she's trying to evolve in a different direction. She's trying to grow in a different direction. And she doesn't feel like the Basketball
Oh,
Wives,
really?
the way it is now, aligns with her now, brand and what she's evolving, et cetera, et cetera. So she did make an announcement with
Mhm.
that. Drea Michelle did make a comment back to her and was like, no, don't end it. Basically, like, do one last hurrah, like a dinner, and just like film it with all the ladies coming back and them talking, et cetera, et cetera. So we'll see,
Mhm.
what she does with that. I mean, but that was a long-standing show. It's been on for years, years. So good for her.
She made a good bit of
Yes,
coin off that franchise,
yes,
I'm
yes, yes,
sure,
yes,
because
yes.
long running, multiple locations,
Yes,
like,
agreed.
she did her
Yeah. And then lastly, I was going to say, because it's been so cold over here, and I know some people are like in the house, I just had some TV recommendations of stuff that I saw, especially like if it snows again. Both of these shows are on Netflix. So the series, His and Hers, phenomenal. I really, really liked it. You saw it. Okay. Yeah. Really, really good. I'm not going to give you anything. Just watch it. It's good. It's good. And then also the Netflix movie, it's called The Rip. It's a solid movie if you're into all of those type of crime. So let me not say that. But if you're just into all this, just watch it.
it's
It,
action. Yeah, yeah, I watched it twice, it was so
there
good.
you
I
go.
watched it
Yes,
twice,
yes, yes.
so
So yeah. So just if you home and just want something to do, definitely check those out. But that wraps up the rundown, y'all. Okay, you guys, we're going to talk about a topic today for our Let's Get Into It segment. This one is going to be about Shaq. So Shaquille O'Neal basically indicates a woman dictates if a man cheats. He says women basically run the world, which is facts. So women hold the power, but don't realize it. He goes on to further break it down, basically say that there are three types of cheaters. So there's the guy that is basically forced to cheat, which is the guy that basically the wife is not doing what he calls her wifely duties. So maybe 3 days in a row, he comes home, he tries to initiate intimacy, and you keep refusing him because you have an excuse, whether it's work, kids, you're tired, etc. And then there's also the serial cheater. Basically, he's just a person who's just cheating. And then there's also the James Bond cheater. So he says the James Bond cheater is basically the guy that does everything that he's supposed to do at home. But then, like, if he goes on vacation and he see a little something, that he might do his little 1-2 and then bring it back home peaceful.
mm.
Yeah. So I don't know. What are your thoughts about that, though?
First of all, he did a lot of thinking about this, like, to break this down into 3 different categories, like, bro, you did a lot of analyzing and thinking about this, but I guess he should know because, he lost his wife because he was out here dipping and dabbing and doing what
Mhm,
he did, you know what I'm saying? So, I
mhm,
guess he should
mhm,
know.
mhm,
However, I don't think that there's any scenario in which a woman should be blamed for the man cheating. You know what I'm
mhm,
saying?
mhm.
Like, you can have a conversation with your wife and tell her, "Listen, I'm feeling some type of way. Like, I'm feeling this urge to step out, this, that, and the third, or I'm feeling like my needs aren't met, whatever, whatever." But you don't have to actually go out and do it. I think you should work through whatever's happening, dig deeper, find out if y'all can come to some compromises or something. But that's never a reason to step out.
Yeah, yeah. I don't it's fun when he says that, women hold the key, as far as like a man cheating. I don't think that's true definitely in a lot of scenarios because there are some women who, like he even said, that if you just have a serial cheater, regardless of what you're doing, whether you're cooking 5-course meals and doing backflips on him. If he's going to cheat, he's going to cheat. It doesn't really matter because that's just in him. That's what he's making a decision to do, right? When he talks about the one that is forced to cheat, I do agree with you as far as like a conversation needs to be had to express what you're not getting from your partner. If your partner chooses not to listen, I still don't think you should cheat. You probably need to go ahead and leave them because
Right.
clearly it's something that bothers you that much. And if you're still not feeling fulfilled and your partner's not trying to help or, like you said, compromise, then yeah, you're going to have to lead them and then you can go do whatever you want to do peacefully. But to actually cheat when you're with someone, I don't agree. I don't agree because I don't think in any instance it can be truly like justified because you always have a option
Yeah.
not to cheat. You know what I mean? Basically, like I said, you can just lead a person and then you don't have to worry about nothing.
Yeah. I think the
I don't know.
situation is like you're feeling unfulfilled in your current situation for whatever reason, but you're also not willing to leave that situation because you're still receiving something that you like from that situation, that relationship, that
Mhm,
marriage, or it's benefiting you in some way. Or, I mean, or genuinely you love the person and you love them as a person, but you're just not getting what you need from an intimacy perspective or something like that. And I think
mhm,
that, I would imagine hard sometimes to step away completely from somebody
mhm.
who, there's so many other good things and benefits or whatever it may be for you to be with that person, but you're now having to end a whole relationship over one piece of something. I mean, I can understand that and the confusion and, the hesitancy to move forward with something like that. But at the end of the day, if it's big enough for you to feel like you need to step outside of your marriage or relationship over it, I mean, that's your answer right there, though.
Exactly. I agree with you. I definitely agree with you. Yeah, I don't know because they even like when they talk about women, when most women cheat, it's usually like emotional cheating because it's something that they're not being fulfilled like emotionally from their partner at home. And
Mhm.
then they have like emotional affairs with which according to some people tend to be worse than having like a physical affair because
Yeah.
you definitely develop like an emotional attachment and things like that. And I always say I feel like with women, in most cases, before a woman does decide to cheat, whether it's physical or emotional, you were forewarned. Like
Mhm.
a long time, a while. Like
Mhm.
you knew. And then, like you said, she don't want to necessarily leave you because of XYZ. But it's like, okay, but if you still not gonna give me what I'm asking for, I'm just gonna seek it somewhere else. And
Yeah.
it's just gonna be what it's gonna be. I don't know. I just feel like in a relationship, it comes with compromise. It comes with a level of sacrifice. So if your partner is telling you, like, hey, I need you to do this, and you just brush it off because apparently it's not of importance to you, that's problematic in a large way,
Mhm.
in my opinion. And that's something that both parties would need to sit down and be like, hey, like, because as you said, this is something that truly bothers me. So I'm expressing something to you. And if you just kind of look at me like, okay, Ann, mm, then I'm a I'm gonna get a little bit attitude and resentful, and it's gonna be Ann when you see me over there with Cameron. It's gonna be Ann. Like, I don't know how else to you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
to break that down for,
Right.
grown adult people, though, like, you have to use sense, though. So,
Right.
I get what he's saying as far as, like, if your partner, whether male or females, coming home and they're asking you, whether it's intimacy, even if it's just, "Let's just sit down and have a dinner and talk, just have a
Mhm.
conversation," or whatever, and 3, 4 days in a row, they're constant, "No, I'm busy, okay, is this and that." After some time, I'll be looking at you like, "Oh, okay, yeah, you said no." But
Mhm.
once again, Cameron said that he available. He said that he can sit down every Thursday and chat it up with me since you're not available. You know what I mean? And things like
Right.
that. So I feel like you have to be careful walking that line
Yeah.
because people do get fed up because you are human. And this is not excusing cheating or anything like that because it's still a choice. But people do get fed up. So you have to
Yeah.
be smart about that.
Yeah. I don't know. I just feel like it burns my biscuit when men try to put it on women for why they cheated. No, like,
Mhm.
because I feel like when you do that, you are now taking the accountability off of you and you're putting
Yes.
it on someone else. Oh, I'm not accountable for my actions because I wasn't getting this, that, and the third. And I wasn't accountable for my actions because she didn't do this, this, and that. No,
Mhm.
we're not doing
Mhm.
that. Be an
Mhm.
adult and be accountable for what you did and the decisions that you made because you didn't have to make that decision to do that.
Mhm.
You
Mhm.
made that decision regardless of what was happening at home.
Yes. And then another thing, another point that I know you had hinted at earlier on, whoever you're asking for whatever it is, if they're not giving it to you, you may have to see why they are not giving it to you or unable to give it to you.
Mhm.
That's also like another conversation
Yeah.
because another part of it is somebody can't give you what they don't have.
Ooh, that's good.
And I feel like sometimes people will fantasize like, "Oh, I want him to be like this, or I want him to do this, and da 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 da." And you ask him and you ask him, but they still falling short,
Yeah.
essentially. Like they just can't do it. At some point, you might have to look like, okay, he just might not be the person that can give you this said thing that you require. And then now I feel like that's now a conversation that you need to have with yourself first to
Mhm.
is that something that you can be okay with and just deal with or whatever? And then in turn have a conversation with that person. Cause like you can't pour from an empty cup, right?
Yeah.
So that's like another aspect of it too. I think people have to be realistic in what their partner can actually do. And nobody's gonna check all the boxes
Yeah.
completely. That's not realistic because
You know
we
what
don't
that
says.
what that makes me think of when you're talking about this is when you hear situations where like a woman has had a baby and her hormones are a certain way and she just no longer has the drive to do it. She doesn't feel in the mood for
Mhm.
intimacy or maybe she's going through postpartum depression or maybe she's just so busy and trying to adjust to this way of life or she's totally exhausted or
Mhm.
women that are going through menopause and again hormonal changes and things like that, like there are a lot of things that a woman can go through
Mhm.
biologically that can affect intimacy in that part of her life, and if her significant other is not understanding, that can cause some issues too. It just like you said, she may not have anything to give in that moment
Mhm.
through that phase
Mhm.
of life that she's going through at that time.
I definitely agree. It makes me think about a series that I watched. This was on Amazon Prime. It was called like The Summer I Got Pretty or something like that. And the mom in the series was basically dying of cancer. So she had like multiple battles with cancer, so on and so forth. But one of the stents that she had with cancer, her husband ended up cheating on her with his assistant. And she could not forgive him. Like, at all. I mean, rightfully so, I get it. Because the way she looked at it is like, I was going through something so tumultuous. I didn't
Mm,
know if I was going to be here. We have two children. I was so scared if I was going to be here for them, so on and so forth. Da, da, da. And this is all you could think about
yeah.
was just, having the surrounding of a woman, you know what I mean, in an intimate fashion or whatever. And he was looking at it from a stand like, it's not that I didn't love you or care about you, but I just needed someone, as he said it, to also like hold him and give him some level of care and intimacy as well. And I think that goes back to what I said, like you have to be okay sometimes that you're gonna have to sacrifice. And not everyone every time is going to operate from a stance at 100%. So at
Yeah.
that point, she wasn't operating at 100%, but it was because of circumstances that were beyond her.
Right.
And you couldn't, just chill out for a little bit.
Right.
You know what I mean? Just to let her get through this said thing. And then, you know what I mean? Like whatever and stuff like that. And then he also never communicated to her either
Hmm.
what he
How he
needed.
was
That was
feeling.
exactly. That was like another thing. Cause maybe she could have navigated that in a different way. But,
Hmm.
you know, when you have cancer, chemo, radiation therapy, there's a level of crazy that some people experience,
Hmm.
like I said, beyond their control. You don't feel well, you're sick, obviously, and everything like that. So communication, I feel like it just goes back to communication.
Yeah.
You really got to hear
Communication.
people. Yeah, hear your partner. I don't think there's any excuse for cheating because you still make a choice. You still have a decision. You
Hmm.
can say that somebody helped make your decision. to go out of the house a little bit easier, but they didn't actually send you to, you know what I mean,
Yeah.
to Lakeisha's house. They didn't do that. You still made the decision to do that for yourself or whatever. So,
How do you feel like going back to the scenario of us of the wife that was sick? How do you
mhm,
feel about situations where a spouse is sick and they give the other spouse a hall pass? Like, I'm going through this. I know you have
mhm,
needs. I can't fulfill them right now. So while I'm going through this, as long as you are respectful about what it is that you do and you stay
mhm,
safe and you stay
mhm,
honest with me, you can
mhm.
go ahead.
Ooh, I'm okay with it if they're okay with it. Would I do it? No. If I'm sick, my husband don't get a hall pass. You gonna be here with me. We both suffering together. No, you don't get a hall pass. But you have to be careful with stuff like that because I feel like that's just like people who invite third parties into their bedroom. And
Yeah.
then you get mad when the somebody else, you know what I mean? If it's A, B, and C, but now B and C are hooking up separately
Yep.
for when things like that. I just think you have to be careful with stuff like that. I think it's different if you know you are dying and you're like give them permission to because you've heard stories like that. You're the one of the partners will give them permission
Mhm.
to go and date, go be. But that's if I'm actively dying. Like the doctor done told you, like, no, she out of here. She is dying. Oh, okay. We have a conversation. But if I'm still gonna be here, nah, 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 nah. You all right, bro. You all right. Not for me. Not for me. I don't know.
Didn't Nene Leaks and Greg, didn't they have some sort of situation like that when he was going through his battle with cancer and he was like, I just want you to be happy?
I think so because his was what did he have? Oh gosh, but I guess it affected his sexual function. I can't remember the type of cancer he had. Like he I
Yeah.
don't think he could actually be sexual with her at all. So I think that's the situation and I understand. Like you know what I mean? Going back no, no, not me though. Other people yes. If it's good for you, it's good for them. Okay, cool, cool, cool. Not for me. Not for me though. I don't know. What about you?
I agree with you. I feel like if I know that the situation is terminal, I feel that's different. But I do think that in any scenario where you are inviting another person into your love life, whether it's a threesome or you have a hall pass for XYZ reason, you are just inviting yourself into a situation that may blow up to be something bigger than what you expected it to be. So
Mhm. Mhm.
everybody needs to be patient. Let's work through this. Stand needing sex is a real thing. I understand
Mhm.
it's a biological, this, that, and the third, but you're not gonna die if you don't get
Mhm.
it. You know,
Mhm.
like we're dealing with
Mhm.
some real life stuff here. And just as I would, if you were going through it, I would hold off and be patient and work through this with you. I'm asking you to do the same for me.
Agreed, agreed, agreed. Yeah. They said sickness and health, through
There
sickness
you
and
go.
health. So,
Come on
and
now.
sometimes, well, you take those vows, but people really don't hear it though. They
Yeah.
just be saying it, but they don't necessarily hear it. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I don't know. But that was a good topic though. So,
Mhm.
next one we got, next segment, unpacking it. This one basically, a lady says that a man is not her type because she texted him and said, I am off for a few days and I don't feel well. He responds and says, that's good. You're off for a few days. I do hope you feel better though. Her first thing was, he is not my type. That is not my type. If that's the type of thing that you're gonna say to me, that's not gonna work for her. She said she had that was the first time she had spoke to the guy since like she had gave him her number. And she just basically said she didn't appreciate that type of response. And that was a big indicator for her.
Girl, please. What's wrong with
Mhm.
you? You
Mhm.
just met this man. It's your first interaction. What did you want him to do for you? Like
Mhm.
the
Mhm.
entitlement that these
Mhm.
girls out here in this new dating world have is ridiculous to me. Like you
Mhm.
want the whole world to be handed to you on a silver platter, and this man don't know you from boo boo to fool.
Mhm.
His response
Mhm.
was fine and appropriate. This was your first interaction. It was perfectly fine. Like, what did you want him to do? Send you a personal doctor? Send you a car to take you to the hospital and then have you come home to a chef personally preparing chicken noodles? Like, what did you want?
Yeah, I don't know. And I was waiting for her to kind of elaborate. I didn't see it at least on what would have been. an appropriate response for her because I felt the same way. I was like, you don't know him. You wanted him to be like, can I come over and drop you something? And then maybe he rob you out of house and home. I don't know because you don't know him. So I feel like I hope you feel better. At least he didn't say like, okay, so you still can't come out or you know what I mean? Like, I feel like that would have been like, well, damn, I just said I was sick and you
Yeah.
still try to get me out or something like that. I don't know, but I said, girl, if this is the attitude and the stance you be taking, this is why you single. I'm
That
sorry.
part. That part.
Like, there's no way. There's no way. Because that means that nobody can do anything right in your eyes.
Mhm.
Your standards are too, you can't even live up to your own standards. That's what it's given.
Mhm.
So just be by yourself. Don't go and making people miserable, sis. It's okay.
These girls are too superficial. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mm-hmm.
and then the guy that does do extra and provides all these things and love bombs you and does the most or whatever, still gonna treat you like shit. Like, what?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
These girls are not after like a decent quality person. It's what can you do for me? How much can you do for me? How soon can you do it? And how long can you do it for? Girl,
Mm-hmm.
I'm
And
annoyed.
clearly that's not shaping up well for her because you didn't have nobody else coming over and offering you nothing.
Right.
You was waiting on him to come and do it. So clearly that says a lot right there. But I
This
hope she
reminds
better
me
though.
This reminds me of that scenario. Remember that scenario back a couple years ago?
Mhm,
And this guy had reached out to her in her DMs and he was like, basically he didn't know her either, I don't think. But
mhm,
he was like, I've been seeing you on socials and I want to send you some money for lunch. And he had
mhm,
sent her, I don't know if it was like $50 or $100 or something like that. Remember that? And she was like, I can't what am I supposed to do with $50 for lunch? Like,
mhm. No, I do remember that. Yeah.
ah,
Only they know. Only they know.
only they know, honey.
Yeah, to each their own. That's all I can say about that. Okay, you guys, mindset reset. You may not control all the events that happen to you, but you can decide not to be reduced by them. Do the best you can until you know better. Then, when you know better, do better. Thank you, everyone. That wraps up episode number 19.
Yes. And as I say all the time, you guys already know where to find us. We're at Just Life and Podcast on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, all the socials. We are on YouTube, Just Life and Podcast. You can look us up there. If you want to send in any questions for our Inbox Unlocked segment, you can do that via our email at justlifeandpodcast@gmail.com. You can send us a DM on our Instagram, or you can click the link tree in our bio on Instagram and send us a message anonymously. We drop our episodes every Wednesday early in the morning so they are ready for you as you're working out, doing your morning commute, etc. As always, we always want you to like, comment, subscribe on YouTube, follow us on all the socials, engage with us in the comments because we love to talk to you guys. All right. Until next week, be safe.
Thank you, everyone. Bye bye.